All right, here we go, everyone. It's time for some Spider-Man 3. Let me go ahead and do the usual things. Hey, everyone. Spidey Librarian here, and welcome to Classics Revisited, the live streaming show where I watch and react to a classic movie that I have enjoyed, and I react to it on my YouTube channel. This is going to be the final Classics Revisited, at least the final Classics Revisited that I show on a regular basis. I reserve the right to break this show out whenever I feel like I need it in the future, but at least for now, it's going to go away. Oh, hi, Trouble. Hello, how are you? I think someone wants her treats. She sees that Dad is broadcasting and is like, this is the perfect time to beg him for treats. Isn't that right, Miss Trouble? Hi. Hello. All right. Let me get her some treats and then I'll continue talking about Classics Revisited. All right. Here you go. Okay, baby. You know how this works. You come over here and I will give you some treats. There you go. Oh, she's such a little pest, but I love her so much. Okay. But yeah, as much as I personally enjoy Classics Revisited, I don't get a huge audience for it, and frankly, I don't know. When I conceived of it, I I don't know, like watching movies that I've seen before is great in some cases, and then in other cases it's just not as fulfilling as I thought it would be. So, I'm going to be doing I'm going to be phasing out Classics Revisited after this week. And then, if I ever feel the need to bring it up, like let's say in May, I decide I want to watch the original Star Wars trilogy, we can go ahead and do that. It'll be like a very kind of specific thing that I bring it up for, but I'm gonna try to keep it as little as possible and save it for special occasions so that maybe it's a little bit more special when I do it. But with that said, never fear. If you are still going to be looking to get your Sunday dose of Spidey Librarian at 2 o'clock, I got you covered. A week from today, we will be doing the very first episode of Retro Review, which is going to be a live streaming show where I basically look at a few of my old retro games that I have in my collection and we play them for a little while, talk about them, and just kind of hang out and chill. So I'm looking forward to that. And then at 8 o'clock that evening, I will do I will do Cozy Gaming Oasis, which you guys have seen some examples of that one already. I stream a cozy game. We talk about cozy game issues, things like that. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And again, I'm looking forward to doing both of these shows in 2026. And hopefully you guys are as well. So, all right. With that said, let's get on with it. I am going to go ahead and just start the sound test. I still need to bring up Disney Plus and log into it. So I might be a little bit behind the eight ball here, but we'll figure it out. Okay. And it looks like Disney Plus already knows who I am, so that's good. No, I do not want to watch Fantastic Four First Steps. Not today, at least. Okay, it's like, here, do you want to watch Spider-Man? Do you want to watch Spider-Man 1? No. Or Spider-Man 2? No, no, no. No, no, no. I'm going in for Spider-Man 3. There it is. Okay. So one of the first things I need to do is I need to go ahead and mute the desktop audio. So let me go ahead and do that. And I think Do I? I do not have my headphones plugged in. Trouble. Okay, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute, everyone. Trouble. Look, if you want to stay in the room, then you're going to have to leave me alone. I can let you out, but if I let you out, I am not letting you back in until the stream is over. Okay? So, do you have a preference? She doesn't know. All right, I'm going to go ahead and let her out. I will be back in just a second. Kitties. All right. Do you want out? I'll let you out if you want to go out. You want to go out? You want to go out? No? Okay. All right. I love you very much, okay? And you gotta let me do my thing, all right? Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm just gonna start the first 30 seconds of it. You should not be able to hear anything, and if you do, let me know. If you don't, let me know. Okay. And we're just breaking right into the overture. Marvel, excuse me, Marvel Comics. Okay. So we didn't even technically get to any footage of the film, um, which I think is pretty great myself. So, okay. All right. Okay, let me say hello to CG Anime Fan. Good to see you, my friend. Let's see. You hope that Spider-Man 3 holds up for me. I'm looking forward to it. You think that Spider-Man 3 was the first superhero film that you saw twice in theaters? Nice. And it was a big film for you growing up. At the time, you were too young to notice a lot of the film's flaws. Yeah, it's not perfect. It definitely is, I would say, the weakest out of the three. But I would also say that this is a movie that gets a lot of hate that it doesn't really deserve. Like, yes, no, it's not perfect, but like I have just seen some very vitriolic comments about this movie, and really, it's not that bad. It's just a downgrade. Like after Spider-Man 2, if you weren't as good, you know, you were just going to look worse by comparison. Now they did do some things wrong, and I will acknowledge that as we after we watch it. But I think for the most part, like this is kind of like Blade Trinity. I'm like this is definitely a step down, but like it's also still perfectly watchable, and I have a feeling that that's gonna remain my my opinion after we watch it. But in the meantime, I think at this point, let me just go ahead and hold on. What the heck? Okay, some weird transcription thing is going on. So, okay. Hi. Hello. What's up, sweetie? You cannot lay there. You cannot get on the desk. No. No. You need to go somewhere else. No. You need to go somewhere else. She's trying to lay on the desk in front of me. She's so sweet, but she is so needy sometimes. So, all right. Okay, as a kid, CG thought that Spider-Man 3 was better than Spider-Man 2, which is an opinion that he no longer has. However, he certainly still likes the film. That's fair. Hey, Marshlands, how you doing? Marshland says that this was an interesting watch for sure. Sandman and the black suit were handled pretty well, but why would you look at Eric Foreman of all people and go, yep, that's our Venom? I'm not sure who Eric Foreman is. Feel free to educate me on that. I assume that that was Venom, you know, when Topher Grace was, you know, transformed into the symbiote thing. So also the ninja snowboarder goblin design is unbelievably dumb. We'll get into that. we will definitely get into that probably after the movie though. All right. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna go turn on my AC because again I'm in Houston and it's freaking 75, 80 degrees out right now. Nothing pisses me off like a Christmas that's like 70 degrees and over. Like, give me a break, you know? Anyways, I'm gonna go do that. I will be right back. All right. The air conditioner is now on. All right. Had a bit of a run in my nose there. So, oh, Eric Foreman is who Topher Grace played in that 70s show. Okay. Well, there we go. There's evidence that I've never really watched that 70s show. I mean, like I've seen the occasional episode or two, but not enough to get invested in the characters. So, all right. Okay. Make sure that my chair isn't caught on anything. Like it almost was. Okay, and I am going to charge my phone while the movie plays. Okay. All right. So I think we're basically good to go at this point. Let's see. We're going to get started in a second. I just want to be sure. Why do things keep changing like that? I really wish that wasn't the case. Okay. There we are. All right. Let's see. Sorry, brain doesn't want to work. Oh, and by the way, I am wearing a Venom shirt because, Venom in a Spider-Man movie. The only Venom we ever got in a Spider-Man movie, too. Um, Frankly, I mean, I'm honestly of the opinion that if they could somehow bring Tom Hardy over to the MCU to play Venom, because it could happen. I have my issues with the Venom movies. However, I will say that Tom Hardy himself is not the issue, and he could make an excellent MCU Eddie Brock slash Venom. I have no doubt of that whatsoever. I don't think it'll happen, but if it does happen, I would be so. I used to live in a world, guys. We all used to live in a world where we just had to accept the idea that Spider-Man was never going to be part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like that's just how it was. And then the big Sony email leaks of the mid 2010s happened, and then suddenly crack, like the possibility was there and it eventually became reality. I'm just saying weirder things have happened. That's all I'm saying. All right. Marshland says that Eric Foreman was one of those characters where the majority of the jokes revolved around him being a very nerdy, scrawny, whiny, wimpy dork character. Ah, okay. All right. I mean, I've seen Topher Grace in other roles, and I'm not going to say he's like, the greatest actor of our generation, but like he can handle himself in roles that are not Eric Foreman. I assume he's really good as Eric Foreman. I assume that's how he made his bread and butter. But like I've seen him do other stuff, and he's not bad. He's not bad. I'm not offended that he played Eddie Brock myself, at least not in terms of the way that he handled the role. Um, Physically, he does not look like how I would envision Eddie Brock. Tom Hardy is much, much closer to that than Topher Grace is. But still, I think he did all right. So, all right. So I think we're going to go ahead and get started. Let's just go ahead and do that. So now before we get started, I just want to let anyone who is new here know if you are here looking to see footage from or hear audio from the feature in question, I'm afraid that's not going to happen. What you see right here is pretty much what you're going to get, and that is me on camera reacting to the feature in question. This is a watch party, and to that end, We will basically be doing like you'll have the opportunity to watch along with me. In fact, let's just go over to the Classics Revisited overlay right now. There we go. You'll have the opportunity to watch with me. I've got a timer right here, which will tell you where I am in the movie. So if you wanna queue up and watch it along with me, you absolutely can. I will be also making reaction video footage or reaction video content off of this footage at some point in the future. I don't know when, but it will happen eventually. So to that end, we will be doing an introduction, and then we'll do we'll watch the feature itself. We'll do what I call the postmortem, where we review and react to what we've seen, and then finally I'll do an outro, and then we'll be done. So that's basically the pecking order here. And if this is not the type of content you're looking for, hey, I get it. I understand completely. Feel free to click away. I don't want to waste your time, and I certainly don't want the negative engagement from a lot of people who seem to think I exist to waste their time. It's not true. And I got people here watching me, so, you know. In any case, we're going to get started in just a moment, so, you know, web yourselves in. All right, let's see. Venom is notorious for being huge. I mean, you know, yeah, I get it. I do. All right. Anyways. All right. So I said we would start with an intro, and we are going to do that intro right now. Hey everyone, Spidey Librarian here, and welcome to Classics Revisited, the live streaming show where I watch where I watch a classic movie that I have enjoyed and react to it on my YouTube channel. Today's feature is going to be the 2007 movie, Spider-Man 3. Please remember that Classics Revisited serves as a watch party and a reaction, so this stream will serve as both a watch party and reaction to the 2007 movie, Spider-Man 3. Well, Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man 3 is a pretty divisive film among fans of the wall crawler, and I will acknowledge that it is definitely the weakest of the trilogy. However, I'm also of the opinion that this is a movie that gets a lot of hate that it does not deserve. You know, like we can talk about Topher Grace being like too small to play, you know, oh my God, Eddie Brock. There we go. We can talk about Topher Grace being too small to play Eddie Brock and how, you know, Tom Hardy is a much better fit, at least physically there. We can talk about how it was just a bad creative decision to incorporate like 2 or 3 villains, depending on what you define as a supervillain, or just, you know, an antagonist, I guess. We can talk about how bad a creative decision that was. And we can even talk about, you know, the amount of meddling that must have gone in to change up the circumstances of Ben's death in this movie. But really, in my personal opinion, I feel like what we get here is a pretty good send-off. Not great, but pretty good send-off for Spider-Man and his group. And really, I mean, I feel like the Venom and Sandman bits, while not perfect, are still pretty well done, especially for someone who did not want. My understanding is that Sam Raimi only wanted to focus on Sandman, and the studio execs at the time basically told him, no, Venom's cool, you need to do Venom, put Venom in it. And he was like, I don't want to put Venom in it. And they're like, well, you're gonna put Venom in it or we're gonna kick you off this project. And he's like, fine, I'll put Venom in it. And he did. And, you know, all things considered, if that's how Venom got shoehorned into this script, frankly, I think Sam Raimi did a pretty decent job with what they had. Some people don't like Harry's portrayal in this. I kind of loved Harry's portrayal in this. I like the way that he, you know, because at the end of Spider-Man 2, he's discovered his father's formula. He's a lot more confident now as he's going after Peter. And finally, his return to the light at the end really served as a tragic moment and a heroic moment that actually, believe it or not, takes a lot of inspiration from the comics. So I feel a lot of these issues that people have with the movie bury a lot of the positive that I feel exists in this movie. And with that said, it's been a long time since I've seen this one. It's probably been more than 5 years since I've seen this one. So that'll tell you how much I come back to it. So it's definitely not as good as the first two, which I know I've seen multiple times in the last 5 years. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and watch Spider-Man 3. I'm excited for this one, and hopefully you are as well. If you enjoy these reactions, please go ahead and thwip the like button, and if you haven't already, consider subscribing as well. Also, consider sharing this out with your friends, your family, your followers, anyone that you think would enjoy my reaction to these media. In this case, Spider fans, Spider fans. Whether you like or dislike this film, let me know why in the comments. I would love to have a conversation with you about this film. And finally, you can find the full and unedited live stream of this reaction on my YouTube channel. There is a master playlist of all movies that I've watched and reacted to, and I divide them up into shorter playlists, both by genre and by tagged playlist. Spider-Man 3 falls under the action, science fiction, and adventure genre playlists. And then I have it on tagged playlists for superhero movies, comic book movies, Marvel movies, and Spider-Man movies. And I'm just going to check my spreadsheet to make sure that I did not leave out anything for that one. Oh, this is my final movie of the year, guys. This is my final movie of 2025. No, I got everything else. So, whichever of those playlists you go looking for, be sure to look for them on my YouTube channel under the category Watch Party. All right. And I think we are mostly done. Yeah. So with all that said, we're going to get started in just a moment. So grab any snacks you need, any drinks, web yourself in, because we are going to get to Spider-Man 3 in just a moment. All right, let me see what you guys are saying in chat. Let's see. Honestly, the biggest issue with Venom in the movie, this is from Marshlands, is the fact that Sam Raimi was forced to include him, despite apparently trying to explain multiple times he didn't like it. He didn't like it or understand the character. Yeah. They like Venom's inclusion in this movie is an excellent example of studio meddling. Like, it absolutely is. So, all right. Hello to Caden I4M. How you doing? Spider-Man 3 is technically the worst Spider-Man movie, but it's still pretty likable. I agree. I don't know that I'd call it the worst Spider-Man movie. For me, personally, that's Amazing Spider-Man 2. But it's definitely, like, on the lower tiers. Like, if I were doing a tier list of Spider-Man movies and I had to rank them relative to one another, Spider-Man 3 is unfortunately pretty close to the bottom. So Raimi wanted Sandman and Vulture, from what Marshlands understands, but they wanted Venom because they felt like, apart from Green Goblin and Doc Ock, he was one of the most popular villains. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I could see them saying that, because the unholy trinity of Spider-Man villains is Green Goblin, Doc Ock, and Venom. Like, no one can really deny that. And so I guess I could see that but still, I mean, like Sam Raimi by that point had made like the Evil Dead movies and two very successful Spider-Man movies. They should have just let him cook, but you know, you can't have everything. So, all right. And for Marshlands personally, Homecoming is the worst. Ooh, wow, hard disagree, but hey, we're all allowed our opinions here. So, all right, everyone, I'm gonna slip on you old headphones, and we're gonna watch this thing. Okay. All right. Now, for those of you who have access, just know that this version that I'm watching is on Disney Plus. The version of Disney Plus that I have is without ads and commercials. So essentially, I should like I should have a pretty clear like I shouldn't have to stop and start like I have to do for some movies. So all right, what I'm gonna do now is let's see. Oh, right. Okay, I'm gonna do my timer talk real quick. So, you guys know how this goes. When I do my here we go and then thwip, then we're going to start the timer. Well, actually, no, we start the feature about a second after I do the thwip, and then a second after that, I hit go on the timer. So essentially, I'm going to put a couple seconds on the timer right now to give myself some padding, and yeah, I think we are good to go. So I need a drink. Okay, water is very refreshing. Okay, all right, guys. All right, we ready for this? Because I'm ready for this. I'm ready to watch this. Okay, all right, let's get to it. Okay, everyone. 2007's Spider-Man 3. Here we go. All right, I think they're more or less synced up. Let me see. Yep, thought so. Ah, stupid cables. Here we go. The mighty Marvel banner. Again, shout out to Danny Elfman and this epic score that he made for these movies. Okay, so this is going to do what the second movie did and just do a retelling, it looks like. It's going through the cast first, then we go to the bite. Okay. And it's coming all the way from the first movie too. Him doing his powers thing. The talk gone bad with Uncle Ben. Him letting the robber go. Yeah. Oh, and look at this. We're seeing some of the symbiote goo. The upside down kiss. J. Jonah Jameson. And this one, they're using footage from the previous movies instead of like in the second movie, they actually used like painted homages to various scenes. They're not doing that this time around. They're just using the archive footage from the previous movies. I like him swinging through like the the web pictures. That's really cool. Okay. Yes, we get it. Symbiote goo, lots of it. Okay, are we going to see anything from Spider-Man 2 now? Because I feel like if you don't do that, that's a missed opportunity. Okay, is this front? There we go. And they're being real quick about that. The train scene, Harry with the knife, MJ seeing his identity. Okay. And then Ock making the noble decision to drown his science experiment. MJ in a wedding dress. And here we are. All right. And we start off with the web swinging. So, you know, people really like me. Everything is just going well for him right now. Uh, Gwen Stacy, played by Bryce Dallas Howard. It's just really weird to me that bullies exist in college at this point. Like, come on, these guys never made it. Uh oh. Uh oh. Is he looking at an engagement ring? And there he is making it to MJ's show. Yay! Who are these guys? He's such a dork. Like this is Toby Maguire. You know, him playing a dorky Peter Parker is spot on. Oh, and we're transitioning up to Harry Osborn. See, he's got that same kind of confident, underhanded smirk that he had at the end of Spider-Man 2. So he's probably thinking, yeah, he's definitely a dork. I think I'm going to try to kill him now. Well, of course she was good. So how long has it been between Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3? Like how much time has elapsed since Peter, you know, how much time has elapsed that Peter had the opportunity to have this talk with Harry before this particular scene, you know? Let's stay with great. Yeah. Of course they are. Of course they are. Does she know? I mean, she knows that he's Spider-Man, but did he ever tell her that, that Harry's dad was the Green Goblin? Because that seems like information you shouldn't keep from her if she already knows you're a superhero, you know? And we've got all of Norman's stuff here. Good. I just had another dose of, goblin serum. Let's go hunting tonight, you know? I like that they're just hanging out on his web after the show. That's a nice thing to say. All right, guys, keep it PG up there. I mean, of course they're going to keep it PG. Spider-Man is a very kid-friendly. Okay, something like that falls from space. That impact is going to be a lot louder and a lot deeper. This is one of the issues that I had with this movie. Oh, the Venom symbiote just happens to crash near where Peter is, and nobody hears it, nobody sees it, it doesn't get reported on. I don't know. It just seems like a real issue to me. And then it just happens to latch onto his bike. Okay, all right, whatever. Like that just felt like some grade A contrivance, basically. Okay, right. This must be Marco. I like the way that I like the way that they shoot um Thomas Hayden Church as he's playing Sandman, as he's playing Flint, because you just walked right past your daughter. I don't know, like he's very like they do a really good job of making him gruff, but also like strangely gentle. Like you're getting that in this first 30 seconds of his introduction, you know? Oh, okay. Letters that probably her mom never let her see. So he's placing them under her pillow. Okay. The striped green shirt. Yeah. Oh, he knows. He already was near her. Oh boy. And there's the daughter. Oh, I forgot that she has got something wrong with her. It's interesting how the fact that Sandman has a daughter, like it always seems to come up in all of the media where he is portrayed. Like here in this movie, I don't think it came up until really late in the comics, but like every writer latched onto it and is like, no, 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 this is a really good like sympathetic element for Sandman, you know. In Spider-Man 2, the Insomniac video game, there's like an entire side quest that revolves around Sandman and his daughter. So I don't know. I just think that that's really interesting that the writers are all like, no, 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 we want to portray this. Rosemary Harris is doing such a good job of playing Aunt May. See, I think Peter's not listening to her right here. I think she's trying to give him like some advice, and he thinks he's ready, but he really isn't. It's a good story she's telling, and she tells it well, you know. Well, you know, there's a lot packed into that if. Oh, Peter's like, whoa, are you serious? Now, I'm assuming that MJ's parents are still around somewhere. He could probably ask them too, right? And here we go. Okay, you know that talk that we were Peter was hoping to have? Yeah, no, it's not going to happen the way he wants. Harry wants a conflict. I like this. Him swinging from one web and then just hurling web balls at Harry. I was like, that's pretty good. Oh yeah, like he'd let you near the web line. Okay, so a lot of people don't like the X Games surfer ninja Harry here. I myself, I'm kind of okay with it. Like, to me, it differentiates Harry from his dad. And I know Harry wants to be like his dad, but like, I would imagine he probably found the old Goblin glider pretty clunky. And, I kind of like that he developed his own take on the Goblin set. Oh, God. If this were a regular person being abused in this way, he would be dead already. Oh my God. Oh, no. Oh my God. Gimme, 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 gimme. No, you bastard. Oh, you just separated me from my aunt's engagement ring, buddy. That's a bad move. And of course, we've got the magnetic suction boots or whatever. Okay, got the ring. Good. Okay, now we got to get out of here. Man, Harry is just on a rampage right now. Man, good thing this is happening at night. Otherwise, people would see this guy swinging on a web and think maybe he's Spider-Man. Reminds me of like the Death Star trench run. Whenever you played it. Oh, you're still here? Okay. He's still getting the hang of that glider, apparently. And the pumpkin bomb that turns into a razor wing or something. Ow. Oh, God. Yeah, that would not feel good. Yeah, ha ha. Taste of your own medicine there, Harry. How many times does he hurl Harry's own tech back at him? Oh, again, any regular person would be dead from all of this. I swear to God, man, if you were just trying to punk me, it's going to go really bad for you. Uh-oh. I didn't want you to kill me, but it doesn't mean I want you to die. Come on, man. Don't be a sore loser. All right. What did he say they were doing? They'll probably say in a moment. Captain Stacy. Oh boy. I don't I don't care for this. I don't care for them making Flint Ben Parker's actual killer. I also kind of resent them bringing Captain Stacy in, because if you're going to bring in Captain Stacy, two things need to happen. He needs to be Spider-Man's ally, and he also has to die, like, in the line of duty. And I suppose if they had done a fourth Spider-Man movie, they would have gone that way with the second one. But I don't think they ever like make him an ally of Spider-Man's like the way that he's depicted in the comics at least. And a lot of other media since. Oh man, don't you just hate it? You're on the run from the cops and then you fall into a collider. Okay, so yeah, no one's gonna check, huh? These are some careless ass scientists. Like any scientist worth their salt is going to want to make sure that any experiment they run is run under the best of conditions. So a change in readings, they should have gone after that. And instead of being you know, what's the word? Oh boy. Oh god. Like if you replace the sand with like blood or something, this is a horrific scene, you know? And instead of being disintegrated, though, he his DNA gets rewritten. Okay, Peter, just waiting for him. How is he? Yep. Oh boy. So Harry's memory impairment might seem contrived here. And I mean, I would argue to an extent it is. It's very convenient for what happens next. But like, they actually are pulling from the comics here. Harry did have his actually Norman Osborn had his memory uh impaired for a while. And then I think something similar happened with Harry in the comics. If not, then it happened just to Norman. But he does remember Peter. He's got a he's got a good like happy boy grin, you know? See, he's got the big dorky grin, you know? Short-term memory loss, very convenient. There's some foreshadowing for you. I really like this scene right here where Flint kind of reconstitutes himself. Cause like I can't even imagine what a titanic act of will that has to be. Because apparently now his natural state is just, grains of sand, all disjointed. all individual, and he's trying to pull them all together into himself. See, he's trying so hard, and he will not give up. I don't know. I feel like this is a very beautiful scene right here. You know, like I'm still a man. Damn it, I'm gonna try. I really do wonder what this movie. I really do wonder what this film would have been if Sam Raimi had, you know, gotten his wish and gotten to just focus mostly on Sandman instead of having to work on Venom. Um, I don't know. I imagine Harry would have been part of this anyways, but you know, like if we hadn't had Venom suddenly come along. But yeah, no, he gets the locket and he's like, "Come on, come on." Like I really think we would have gotten a much like I don't think the Sandman story is necessarily bad here either, but think of how much better it could have been if Sam Raimi didn't have to like shoehorn Venom into this. Oh boy. Okay. And this is where things start to go bad, I believe. Oh, you were in the first row though. Eh, like I get she's in a bad mood, but I don't know. If you're going to be in the public eye, you have to have a thick skin. That's just kind of all there is to it, you know? I don't think he handled that particularly well, though. Like, it wasn't exactly a good look for him to just be like, okay, I'm gonna just, you know, run off at the first excuse that I can, you know? And I realize that's probably not exactly what happened, but it does kind of look and feel that way, you know? Oh, dear God. Dude, It's my copier? What? You should probably get the hell away from there. So, yeah, run. Uh-huh. And too bad Stan Lee wasn't here to pull people away from the debris, right? Okay, get up and get out of here. I'm sorry, that's terrifying. You better hope that phone. Nope, never mind. Never mind. Phone cords never hold. And there's Eddie Brock. And I'm dating your daughter. Uh huh. Very presumptive thing for him to say. Oh God. I do remember like this the first time I saw this scene, it was very like, oh my God, you know. Come on, man. Oh God, the heartbeat sound and everything. The this is serious sound effect. Ooh, okay. Now you better use a web. Okay. I think you maybe better do something about that crane. Okay, but what about the crane? Don't you still need to stop the crane? Uh-huh. Peter's like, "Uh-huh, what are they talking about?" Here we go. All right, 35 minutes in and we finally see J. Jonah Jameson. Or the post. Wow, the post sucks. Jonah trying to be calm is great. Oh my God. That would piss me off so much. That constant buzzing. Yeah, no. I'd be like, no, 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 no. Dang, Brant wants nothing to do with him. Oops, I've slipped in. What is he wearing? Is he wearing Axe body spray or something? Bruckner. Bernstein. I'll say this for Topher Grace. He has the smarmy sleaziness of Eddie Brock down. He really does. Uh-huh. He wants the impossible, basically. I'm on it, boss. Okay, whatever. Here we go. I know what's about to happen. Enough said. I like that he finally got to speak here, you know? Now, I don't think we saw Bernard until the second movie, right? I don't think he showed up in the first movie, did he? The cheerleaders. And look at this big ass mansion that he lives in. It's all right. And he remembers that couch. He's not lying there. This Norman Osborn does seem to genuinely care about his son. Ooh, nice reflexes. Yeah, but Peter's like, still some things going on with him. Oh no. Oh boy. That's terrible. Awkward. Awkward. And just like that, she's out. She is out of the show. That was so poorly handled. Like, come on, guys, really? Well, she's got some free time on her hands. Spidey. Oh, it's like she's got her own version of the Parker Luck going right now, you know? Wow. They just posted over her name and everything. Again, Toby is an excellent dork. Oh, look at his face when she said that. Oh God, really? Okay, all right. Like he really isn't trying to like dig any deeper into what's going on with her, and that is kind of on him, you know? Uh-oh. And he's like, "Nope, I'm not sticking around." All right. Did he slip under the truck? They didn't even check under the vehicle. Oops. Oh man. Wait, where'd the shovel come from? Where did he get the shovel? Is it just a piece of equipment hanging out on the truck or what? That was probably not your smartest move. Okay, so bullets can kind of disintegrate him, but not do much else. I'm just gonna head off in a sandstorm, you know? Say that for Bryce Dallas Howard, like they did a decent job of nailing her look for Gwen Stacy. Pop. Yikes. I mean, like What is the statistical probability that he will be around when any of those events happen, though? You know? Bum ba bum 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 ba-dum, bum ba-dum, ba-dum, da, 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 da. Everyone is so hyped for this. Oh my god. See? And then the kids are like, "No, Spider-Man, don't kiss them." Oh, yeah. The reason I'm recoiling is because I know how MJ is going to respond to that. And that did, I mean, we saw her face, so. Ah. Oh, hey, Mogai Wig. Hello again. You high key love Spidey 3 unironically. I, you know, I respect that. And really, again, I feel this is a movie that gets way more hate than it deserves. So thank you for the super chat. And here we go. Sandman is looking for an escape. And why didn't he just stay in his sandstorm form and just, like, leave the city? See, this was an unnecessary complication here. What? He's just trying to take the money? Oh, right, for his daughter's operation, I guess. And Flint is trying to, like, he's like, I don't really want to fight you, but you know, uh-oh. Yeah. Okay, fine. We're gonna go street surfing. Very oh, I'm sorry, that would have killed anyone else. That would have killed anyone else. All right, hold on, sorry. Well, no money for you. He's like, I'll get you, Spider-Man. I'll get you in your little web, too. Okay, so maybe not an unnecessary complication. He basically saw a money van and went after it. Okay, I stand corrected there. You know, electron colliders and vats of electric eels and, you know, madness inducing serums. That's where they come from. Oh man, she does not look like she's in. Oh god. Yeah, no, this is like the worst time for him to try to propose. Uh, boy. Uh, hello, Bruce Campbell. Heck yeah. No, he's not getting it. Hello. Magnifique. Again, the rumor was that if they'd made a fourth Spider-Man movie, you would have found out that Bruce Campbell was playing Quentin Beck. I don't know how true it is, but I like the idea of that, you know? Oh my God. Again, big old dork. Becker. She's got imposter syndrome going on big time. She's not wrong. She's not wrong. Yeah, no, dude, you're not doing a good job of listening right now. Oh, hello. Oh, no, 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 not yet, not yet, not yet. I love this. Uh-oh. God. They really do a good job of making this the absolute worst time for Peter to propose. Bruce Campbell does a really good job in this scene too. God, she looks like she's about to just lose it. And that's not the only thing she gave him. Damn. In front of her, no doubt, no less. Ooh. They're playing the song that she was singing when the critics just roundly bashed her in the papers, too. I don't think I ever caught that until now. Yep. This scene still gives me lots of secondhand embarrassment. Oh, she got the messages. She waits until the last possible second and then gets beat to the. Yeah, okay, whatever. Oh, okay. This is the part that I was like, oh my god, Aradine. And he just fought with him. Yeah, see, I don't like this twist right here. This definitely rubbed me the wrong way. Okay. See, I do like that they brought Cliff Robertson back for this. I had more issues with his scene in Spider-Man 2 than right here. And even though I don't like this twist, this is a good reason to bring the actor back. Okay, that's not actually how it happened, but we'll get that eventually. Weird to see Oliver Cromwell playing a police chief that yeah. It's kind of like, why did you bother bringing them all the way down to the station, you know? Uh-huh. Mm, yeah. she's like, I know what you can do, and you can do great things, but you could also be titanically stupid things. Yeah. He doesn't handle this part very well either. He's like, get out. Oh, she got the door open. Oh God. All of this police chatter. I like how he's just sleeping in his costume. All right. The symbiote, which has apparently been living in his apartment for days, is finally making a move. And now he's got a whole new image, a whole new image for his nightmares. Buddy, why are you grabbing the sheets like that? Again, nice and creepy. And now we have a black suit. I like how it's essentially just a palette swap of what he already has. Definitely not, not the way the comics did it. But I like this stylistic choice here. Like, I feel even stronger and better than before. Okay. I think it was James Franco that actually he put it he put it he put it pretty interestingly. He's like the symbiote suit is basically a metaphor for drug use, essentially, and the rush of feeling good and being able to do all the things that he can do with it. I like that he had the brains to at least take a sample of the symbiote over to Dr. Connors. That was really smart on his part. Mm, yeah. He's like, give me some of this. We're going after Marco. I want the good stuff. Whenever I see one of these movies, it makes me want to play the Insomniac Spider-Man games again, just to do the web swinging through the city because it's so much fun. Dang. I mean, I'd have had the same reaction. Like, really? What the hell? So he's got another inferior camera on him. Start snapping other pics, and I'm pretty sure we know what's going to happen. I like that shot of him following him. Ooh, he doesn't want to hear that. And I mean, like, he just viciously lays into him, you know? But, Marco's no slouch either. I love this effect right here. Like, all that's going to do is piss him off. Oh, yikes. That could not be fun. They were just pinballing between two trains right there. Uh-oh. Water's not so good for him. And he saw it. He's like, oh God, water? Oh God, no, 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 no. Don't do it. Don't do it. He did it. And to be fair, this is also vicious. Kind of reminds me of Clayface in that moment. And that's all he has to say is good riddance. Symbiote's doing its thing to him. Oh, here we go, guys. There's the hairstyle. If we've seen this, we know what's coming. I like how right here, at least, Ditkovich is he's at least being nicer than he was in the previous movie. I like what he does here. Like, I don't know. I really I feel like that's a subtle but nice kind of character development for him. Like, he's had Peter around probably for a couple of years at this point, and he's like, yes, I'm gonna just hit him up for money, but like overall, I think I'm gonna relax around him, and you know. Is the suit doing this? Okay, well, cool. Wait, he put it away? That's not gonna fly. I like I like May's reaction to all of this. He wasn't expecting that. It's a really good response from Aunt May. And probably, one of the reasons that Peter's able to eventually overcome the symbiote is because of people like that in his life. Waitress singer wanted. So that's what MJ's going to be doing. And now she's just a working stiff. She's like, "Nah, I'm not gonna contact Peter. I'm gonna contact Harry. He's gonna be more fun to be around." I need some company. Wow. Bernard is like, "Okay, fine, I'll do the thing." I like this scene here too. Okay, I'll get him a pizza. And that's it. I get that Ursula is like a pretty neighbor and everything, but I still don't understand a lot of the community's obsession with her. Like you can have pretty people in your life that, you don't end up pairing up with. Like it happens all the time. So, sauteed peppers. I think I see some mushrooms there too. I mean, they did used to date, so. Uh-oh. Okay, so omelets. That's what we're doing here. Took me a while to figure that one out. Oh God. Yep. Yep. That's about what would happen to me if I tried to flip an omelet. 12th grade? Your senior year, you were writing plays to MJ in 12th grade? They dated after high school, so don't do it. Like she's still technically with Peter at this point though, right? So that's a big no-no on her part. And now she's got a guilt attack. Okay. Well, that sucks. Oh God, he's just drinking it right from the. Oh, hello. I know that. I know that voice. And then it all comes flooding back to him. Good God. Oh boy. And there he is. Hello, Norman. Hello, Willem Dafoe. He's flexing those brows. They're doing a lot. They're doing a lot of the heavy lifting here. We attack his heart. Just hanging out in her apartment, and she can't see him until she gets to the phone. Okay. At least she has a difficult time opening the door too. Okay. We're going to orchestrate some things now. And line disconnects. Not a good sign. Oh boy. Here we go. Ooh. Yep. So she really doesn't want to do this, but she's being forced to do this. And there you go. Break her heart a little bit more. Yeah, it's John Jameson from the previous movie. He came back and he was there for me. That would have been hilarious if that had actually happened. I mean, it would have been sad, but you know, bravo. Well, now Harry is a dick, and that was a dick move. Yeah, that's not going to happen anytime soon now. You have been self aggrandizing. So, bam. I will say, man, he does a really good job of like playing this one, as innocently as you can in this situation. So he's wound him up and he's just like, I'm having a grand old time doing this. That pie is so good. And then he winks at him and it's like, oh, are you kidding me? And then he's gone. How did he do that? Is Harry Osborn Batman now? So let's see. His girlfriend has dumped him. His best friend is the one that was, he has convinced him that he's the other guy. What else is about to happen? Oh, right. Brock. That's still going to happen. Oh, we're going to go get some revenge. That look in that look, like not just the hairstyle, but I think they did something subtle with his makeup. He looks like a bit more, I don't know, strung out, I guess. And now we got two superpowered individuals. Ooh. Is that the knife he was going to use in the previous movie? Uh oh. Dang. Man. Right through the glass. I'm going to kick your little ass. It does sting a bit. Oh, man, they're like a couple of rabid animals here. Ooh, time for the sword. Ooh, smack. Shelf full of pumpkin bombs. Ooh, damn. Little Goblin Jr. Just stay down. You got your revenge. Now leave him alone. Uh-oh. This is what? The second time he's hurled Harry's own tech back at him? And here we go. Bully Maguire, everyone. The infamous. The memeable. Bully Maguire. There we go. The quote from the movie. Just got lucky, uh-huh. Yep. Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. So to some things that I have. Oh. Give a guy a break. You literally took the job that you were competing with and you cheated. Are we all right? And then, yeah, he's looking at the picture. Look at, did you see Betty? She's like, oh, Jonah is pissed. Yeah, well, you're going to have to now. And here we go. The music. His facial expressions here when he's on the phone with him are just hilarious. Ursula's just like, okay, I'll go and get him milk. No, I didn't keep the symbiote at all. Ah, here we go. Just strutting down like, okay, everybody loves me. That's not the position I hired you for. Jonah's like, what? Is he in Jonah's desk? Or is that. Oh, yeah, no, he is. Did you see Betty on the phone behind? She's like, oh my God, I can't believe he did that. So I'm guessing Tobey Maguire had a lot of fun filming this part. I wonder just how much Sam Raimi wanted or didn't want to make this part. I like the all black suit. Very symbiote. Very, very thematically appropriate. Oh, well, we managed to get far enough away from the water that you can dry off now, huh? Like right here with the headband, like she looks great as Gwen right there. Rock is like, ooh, stole my girl, even though she wasn't ever really his girl. Well, first time for everything, huh? Mm-hmm. Hot legs, okay. Oh boy. Yep. Uh oh. Just about to start singing. Okay. So suddenly Peter can play the piano, can he? Like the only thing I can guess is that like the symbiote had possessed someone else who could play piano and transferred that ability to Peter. I don't think I've ever seen Peter play a musical instrument with any degree of proficiency. Throws off the jacket. Yeah, he is just doing this just to piss off MJ. And doing a damn good job of it, I might add. Like, this is the symbiote really just bringing out that aggression. Yep, he just used you. And she just heads off. Okay. Yeah, no. And here, like, what? You just want to push the knife a little deeper, you know? Good manager right here, protecting his people. Dang, he backhanded her. And look at that. That's what shocks him into realizing what the hell is wrong with himself. It's like the self-realization suddenly comes over like, "Oh my god, I smacked MJ." It's definitely a shocking action, you know? Now, I don't remember if we ever see Gwen anymore in this film, but I imagine there's probably no way he's going to be able to reconcile with her. I mean, maybe he could, but she definitely shouldn't be the priority at this point. This wouldn't be the top of the Chrysler building, would it? So does he know to come to this church, or is this just happenstance? Oh, and speaking of happenstance, here's Eddie Brock at the same church. What's he gonna do? He's gonna pray to God to take revenge and kill Peter Parker? It's very Christian. Oh, gee. All right. Yeah, we'll just do that. I remember I did enjoy this scene right here. It's like it's like, oh, hey, I'm going to try to tear this thing off me. Maybe he was, you know what? Okay. I can see how he ended up here. When he told Brock, you want forgiveness, get religion, he was probably looking for forgiveness and went to a church and then decided to try to. Yeah, okay. Can he see Parker all the way from down there? Brock is like, whoa, 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 I don't need this on me. It's like, get off of me. And it's all falling onto Eddie. Ugh. Definitely doing a good job of making this look like horrific. He looks like a vampire right there. Okay, yeah, showering off the ick. Yeah, I get that. Probably feeling like a class A asshole. So he's just like, I'm not going to do much of anything right now. Damn door. Okay, thanks for the judgment, Aunt May. That's great. Great. How are you? No, no, he did not. That's gotta really hurt, you know, wanting something and realizing that you wanted it more than you were ready for it, and making that realization and then making the decision to give it up, you know? Like that's got to be a very painful thing to do. Peter's never been very good at self-forgiveness. It's very sweet for her to just come by, give him some nurturing words, and then just head off, you know? That's not Spider-Man. Ooh. See, Venom's voice definitely bugs me here. Like, like I definitely like the Tom Hardy movies, Venom's voice way more. So now we're gonna team up. You could go right up there and say that you're sorry, Peter. You could totally do that. They just miss each other. Just barely. Wow. He just happened to get into the. Okay, whatever. Okay, so this part is a little bit over the top. I could see Venom and Sandman doing this, but like all this news coverage, all these crowds around to watch the whole thing, it's just like, I don't know. And he's like, oh God, time to suit up. Time for the old red and blue. Spider-Man, stop us if you can. And Harry, he can't feel good about this. Dang. That facial disfigurement still hits. You can see the conflict on his face. On half of it, anyways. Interesting part that Barnard plays here. Interesting that he waited all this time to tell Harry that, you know? Like, I don't know. Because I feel like it's been at least a couple years since the last Spider-Man movie, so oh, yeah, that can't feel good. Yeah, that can't feel good. It's like the roller coaster ride from hell. All of this webbing and ichor or whatever you want to ichor, whatever you want to call it around the place. And here he comes. And there's just like a big freaking crowd of people here, like to watch and cheer him. Oh God, the American flag behind him. See, like this whole little like sideshow going on around it is really, I don't know. Oh, God. Really, dude? Spider sense is not going to work against Venom. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he exposed you for cheating. He exposed you for the fraud that you actually are. Oh, God. Oh, yeah. What do you think of that, Tiger? Cinderblock. Okay, and yeah, like there should be like hundreds of cameras on this, so people should be able to see his face at this point. Oof. Oh God, that's an entire car. That's bad. That's really bad. Yeah, here's hoping that you get caught on some of those tendrils. 2 against 1. And now Sandman is basically a kaiju. See, this is my issue with all those people being here. Like, seriously, you're going to put yourselves in that kind of danger? The authorities are going to let you put yourselves in that kind of danger? Like, I am getting the heck away from him. Damn it. God damn it, Brock. Well, that can't feel good. I like how this size Sandman is just a mindless oaf. Ooh. See, this whole spectacle right here with the news people and everything, this is all like sensationalized BS, you know? Ooh. Uh-oh, surprise. Sandman go boom. And here comes Harry. Again, people can have all their issues they want with this getup of his. I like it. And again, I like that Harry I like the part Harry plays here. Yeah. Let's just oh, kicked him up through the floor. I want did he turn him to glass right there? Yes, he did. Okay. And of course Jonah is on the scene. I love this scene. Little girl like taking Jonah for everything. That baleful glare is great. Oh, come on. Nice. They're both on the glider. What am I going to hang on to? And he webbed Harry's glider, his little surfboard glider. And so right there has got to be where MJ realizes that that's Harry. So now she realizes that her boyfriend and one of her best friends are both fighting for her, you know? It's like, I'm coming for you, a-hole. I don't understand why Sandman falls right there. Like, I guess maybe he was just destabilized enough, but seems convenient, I guess. Okay. Ouch. And now it's gonna be a fight. Ooh, dang. Yeah, because they'll remember. I like being bad. It makes me happy. Really? Tried to impale him. The sonics, the sound, yeah. It doesn't like sound. It doesn't like a lot of sound. No, 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 no. He just got impaled by his own glider. Like father, like son, right? Eesh. Dude, use your webs. Yeah, didn't like that, huh? I'm gonna encase you in these bits here. And now I'm just gonna put a good little sonic concert together for you. And he separated the symbiote for itself. Looks like something from The Thing, you know? He's hurling a he did that. And now it's all just gone. Awfully convenient that there is no symbiote, no Eddie Brock there. Just disappeared. I like this scene right here. I like that Sandman is like, okay, look, let's just talk for a second. I need your car. See, I think that whole recreation of that scene and his speech is just beautiful, you know? Yeah. I really do like this scene. It's like I know that the ticket's been punched here. Harry's like, I did some shit too, you know. Just a few years later, they have to bury yet another Osborne. Poor Barnard. He chose to be the best of himself is actually another line lifted from one of the comic books. Um, and Spider-Man says it about Harry. So icy frigid air, huh? Hey, Peter. Nice suit. I think what I like about this hug between them is they've truly now seen each other both at their best and at their worst, you know. There's a kind of there's a kind of growth here that while I would have liked it to have been elaborated on a little bit more, like it's a good send off for the couple, you know. Especially since in Spider-Man No Way Home, yep, sorry. Especially since in Spider-Man No Way Home, you know, Toby's Peter says something about, you know, we managed to make it work. And you know, this is no longer like young love and idealized and overly romanticized. Like this is a now a love between two people who see each other's flaws and you know have decided that you know like their good outweighs the bad in them and that they're going to try to make it work. That's what that last scene implies between them to me at least. So, but yeah, really good. I liked it. So, Again, this is not a perfect Spider-Man movie by any means. There's plenty that just feels contrived. But, for the most part, I don't I don't really have a problem with it the way some people do? Hold on a moment. Where? There we go. There we go. We've got about 4 minutes of credits left, and I don't think there's a post credit. Yeah, I don't think there's a post credit scene here. So, hi, Trouble. How are you? How are you, sweetie? You're such a pretty kitty. You know that? You are. You're such a pretty kitty. And your dad loves you so much. Yes, I do. I love you very much. Come here. Come here. Ah. Oh, man. Okay, we've got about 3 minutes left. This is a cute baby right here. Yes, she is. I love you, Trouble. I still can't get her into frame. She's like, nope, not interested. Okay, all right. Okay, 2 more minutes. All right. We got about a minute left. Come here. Come here, baby. Come here. I want to show you off. I want people to see you. Come here. Come on. Come on. Come on, sweetie. Come here. It's like only if I have food will she come over this way. All right. Less than 30 seconds. Okay, I think the rest of this is just foreign language voiceover credits. So, all right. Okay. Not bad. Not bad at all. 1 and 0. And let me go ahead and stop that, reset it. Okay, all right. Oh, hey, Disney Plus is recommending Spider-Man, but to me, like, oh, you think I'll like that, huh? Never mind that I've already seen it recently. I don't like what they did with the fonts on Spider-Man 3. I don't like that change at all. So, Trouble, what's up? How you doing? She's like just out of frame and she won't come into frame. She being a little bit of a butt. Okay, all right. Let's go ahead and do the post-mortem here. So, okay. All right, and that was 2007's Spider-Man 3. Again, I would say that while it definitely is the weakest film in the trilogy, I I don't know. I can't bring myself to really dislike it. There are certain aspects of it that definitely do not work, and it's going to differ from person to person, which of the inconsistencies they're willing to forgive or which things, might work for them and what might not. But really, I mean, this is, I don't know, like this is fine, like it's it's part of the result of the studio execs meddling in Sam Raimi's vision. That's definitely a part of it. And then some of it just comes down to not great performances at not great moments, and not for in some cases not great actors. But really, I mean, like I've seen so many people, like the default reaction seems to be for people to just take a dump on this movie. I don't really get that. Um, it's a Spider-Man story, and really, I think my biggest issue with it is that there is that it's like the fight between Spider-Man and Venom and Sandman. It's like it's being advertised as a sporting event, basically. And I do have some real issues with that. Now, it does give us the opportunity to see J. Jonah Jameson get ripped off by a 7-year-old, or, however old that kid is. And that's funny, but like a lot of the other stuff I could have done without the reporters going, "Oh, how will Spider-Man survive this?" That stuff really annoyed me. Um, I don't think that Venom and Sandman and Harry, for that matter, um, being kind of like the three villains until Harry turns at the end. I don't really have a problem with that. I felt like, you know, could it have been done better? Oh, absolutely, it could have. But I also think that Sam Raimi did a pretty good job given the strictures that he had in place, the things that he had to do in order to make this film. So, I mean, really, you know, I would say Venom's story is probably the least likable. If they could have cut, hi, how are you? Hello, pretty kitty. How are you? Your dad loves you. Your dad loves you very much. Are you, do you, what are you doing? Okay, now she's going away. Okay. I think that if there's one villain whose story you could have cut from this movie and still had it work really well, it's Venom. I feel like Sandman, if he had been given more screen time, if he had been given more development, I really think his character could have knocked it out of the park in terms of a villain portrayal. Um, I'm not going to say as good as Doc Ock, but like I feel like Thomas Hayden Church and Sam Raimi together could have made it something really special. And I think we get glimpses of that in Sandman's little, like, I'm not gonna well, I'm just gonna call it a forgiveness speech. That's not actually what I think it is, but like he's basically telling Peter what actually happened, and basically saying, I've done terrible things and I'm imperfect, but I didn't want to do this to you. I really liked that, and really feel like that could have been better. If you're gonna do Venom, give him his own movie. Like, and as for Harry, I really, I guess, coming from the perspective of having read a lot of the the late stage Harry as the Green Goblin stories in the comics up to and including his death. Um, a lot of things were really taken from the comic books surrounding Harry. A lot of that material was definitely inspired by things like, oh God, I can't remember the storyline where Harry dies. I don't remember the name of it, but like that was definitely an inspiration. American Son was definitely, or yeah, I think that's the story. American Son was definitely a part, like an inspiration for this too. Um, so I have a hard time having people have sorry, I have a hard time having an issue with Harry's development. I feel like it arcs into a very believable character arc throughout the three films, and so I'm a-okay with that. MJ, wow, okay, look, MJ was much worse in the second movie than she was here. Now, I'm not saying that she is perfect by any means in this one because she does take some actions that I felt were a little bit disagreeable. But a lot of those actions were taken in response to Peter just being a little bit too high on himself, and just being kind of self-aggrandizing and just not really not really trying to stop and listen to MJ. So it's one of the reasons why by the time they come back at the end of the story and they hug, that embrace to me is the young love phase of their relationship at this point is over. um, they have seen both the best and the worst of each other, and they have just made the decision that the good in each of them outweighs the bad in each of them, and that they're gonna try to work on things for each other. And so I feel like that embrace at the end is very, it's a very hopeful embrace. It's a very uncertain embrace if you take a look at it. But I think it's also hopeful. And so I think it bodes for an overall good future for them that we just haven't seen. Tobey Maguire alludes to it in No Way Home, but I think I'd like to see that at some point. That'd be kind of nice. I'm not gonna lie. So, um, but yeah, overall, I enjoyed this. I think this was a fine movie. Definitely not among the better Spider-Man movies, but you know, still enjoyable. Still works for me. And yeah, I give this one. If I were to give this a letterboxed review, this one gets 3 stars. This one gets 3 stars easily. Like I it wasn't perfect, and it definitely didn't pull me in like a lot of other Spider-Man movies or just a lot of other movies have. But I don't have any really big issues with it in terms of how they collide with the things that I like about this movie. Taken together, it's an imperfect but enjoyable Spider-Man movie that, again, I just feel doesn't deserve the hate it gets. But that's just me. Anyways, I enjoyed this film, and hopefully you did as well. Thank you for watching this reaction. If you enjoyed it, please go ahead and thwip the like button, and if you haven't already, consider subscribing as well. Also, consider sharing this out with your friends, your family, your followers, anyone that you think would enjoy my reaction to these media. In this case, Spider fans, Spider fans. What'd you think of this movie? Hi. Hi. How you doing? You gonna come over here? Huh? What'd you think of this movie? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Let me know why in the comments. I would love to have a conversation with you about this film. You can find the full and unedited live stream of this reaction on my YouTube channel. There is a master playlist of all movies that I've watched and reacted to. Excuse me. And I divide them up into shorter playlists, usually by genre, but also by tag playlist. Spider-Man 3 will be in the genre playlists for action, adventure, and science fiction, and then in tagged playlists for comic book movies, superhero movies, Marvel movies, and Spider-Man movies, of course. Whichever of those playlists you go looking for, be sure to look for them on my YouTube channel under the category Watch Party. And finally, channel memberships are now, channel memberships are now live on the Spidey Librarian YouTube channel. Check out the membership tiers and see which benefits you'd like access to. Perks include shoutouts, members-only videos, members-only live streams, and early access to selected uploaded content, as well as a few other perks. And that's not even mentioning my custom emotes and badges, which I think look pretty good. Check out the membership tiers today and see which perks you'd like access to. And I think that's everything. So thanks again for watching. This is Spidey Librarian. And until my next stream or upload, I'll be wishing you a good day. Okay, all right. Hey, King Matthew, how you doing? Good to see you in the chat there. All right, let's see. There is a lot here. I'm not going to read everything because that's just going to be too much and too long. So I'm just going to pick out a few things from the chat and just move from there. Hi. Hello, my sweet kitty. How are you? How are you? Are you okay? Do you want to come lay down over here? Is this what you want? Huh? No? Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Let me get to reading some of your chats. So okay, let's see. For Homecoming, Marshlands likes the new design of the Vulture, but Liz is easily the most bland and boring love interest. It's weird seeing people struggle so hard with Vulture and Shocker, despite the fact he just recently fought several Avengers, including Black Widow and Winter Soldier characters with insane kill counts. I mean, I guess the only thing I can say to that is we all have our good days and we all have our bad days. Peter is still a kid, and while he may have done decently with a bunch of other heroes around him, by himself, he just his head may not be as in the game, you know. I don't know. I feel like you're looking a little too hard for reasons not to like him. But that again, that's just my opinion. So, let's see. Even though CG has a soft spot for Spider-Man 3, he feels like No Way Home is a better send-off for the franchise. Oh, yeah, I definitely agree. Let's see. All right. Marshlands feels like Spider-Man 3 is a much more solid in the first half, while Spider-Man No Way Home is much more solid in the back half. Interesting point there, actually. Let's see. You want to focus on the romance on with Black Cat? We never have gotten a movie Spider-Man Black Cat romance, and yeah, I kind of like the idea of that too. So, all right, moving on a little bit. Let's see. CG thinks that the film should have saved some of the subplots and characters for the fourth film. Yeah, I really would have liked there to have been a fourth Tobey Maguire movie. So let's see. What else? The Black Suit and Venom could have easily been their own trilogy. Yeah. I mean, frankly, I'm hoping that's what happens with Brand New Day. Like that's going to be another trilogy. I hope. I don't know that for certain. Um, and that like the Venom suit takes up an entire trilogy along with other villains, but like you know, at the very end, Venom becomes the big bad. You know. All right. Oh, CG thinks that Spider-Man 3 adapts Captain Stacy better than The Amazing Spider-Man does. I disagree vehemently. Um, in Spider-Man 3, he comes across as a genuinely good, friendly person like in the comics. Yeah, but that's literally all they got of him, you know? Um, he you never find out whether or not he's pro or anti Spider-Man. And at least in the Amazing Spider-Man, like Captain Stacy in the end chooses to side with Peter. He made that choice. He got the choice and actually was like, "Okay, fine. I'll help you." He does it reluctantly, but he does become his ally. And, you know, I feel like if you're in a franchise with Gwen Stacy and you're going to kill her off, you have to precede that by killing off her father. Like the and you know, I had my issues with Amazing Spider-Man 2, but at least it did those two things, you know. Well, the first one killed off. You get what I'm saying. So, um but yeah, like based on my knowledge of Captain Stacy from the comics, the cartoons, and the movies, I mean, I love Oliver Cromwell as an actor. I wish they'd given him more to do. Like this Captain Stacy is not on screen long enough for me to give a damn about him. That's just all there is to it, you know. Let's see. All right, the acting and special effects for Sandman are well done, but CG feels like Sandman isn't as likable as he's intended to be. In both Spider-Man 3 and No Way Home, he claims to just be about his daughter, I'm going to assume. I mean, my vibe from Sandman is that he's gruff and untrustworthy, but he wants to do the right thing. So that makes him likable enough for me. Let's see. Could have been cool to have the movie cut to credits when Eddie becomes Venom in the church and lunges towards the camera. Could have been a fun cliffhanger. Yes, definitely. Definitely agree with you. Did I say Oliver Cromwell? It's James Cromwell, isn't it? Yeah, I think I might have said Oliver Cromwell. Oliver Cromwell is an entirely different person, and I don't even know who he is. It just, I don't know. But yes, it's James Cromwell, not Oliver Cromwell. Um, Gwen Stacy is more likable in her supporting role in Spider-Man 3 than Mary Jane ever was. You're not wrong. Thankfully, Gwen got to be a prominent character in both Amazing Spider-Man films. Yes, but at what cost? Okay, Peter and Harry definitely share some blame in her behavior for sure, but a lot of it is her. Yes, I agree. That's coming off of CG's comment about Mary Jane Watson having some understandable moments, but he feels like her characterization could have been handled a bit better. Really, I mean, MJ, they could have done a better job with her throughout the entire trilogy. I mean, let's just be honest about that. So, all right, and now King Matthew enters the chat. All right, let's see. Bernard is in all three films, however, is basically a background character until 3, where he's suddenly important to Peter's character arc. To Harry's character arc. I know that he was in the second movie. I don't remember seeing him in the first movie, but you're right. He could have just been a background character. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, okay, you said it. Okay. Um, in King Matt's opinion, Spider-Man 3 is a really underrated film, although he does think they should have picked a better actor to play Eddie Brock. You're definitely not alone in that. I don't really have a problem with Topher Grace. I mean, like you can just assume that the symbiote bulked him up once he gets it, but I understand people having that issue. And I do think Tom Hardy is a better choice. So, yeah. Uh, oh, Bernard was played by John Paxton, the father of Bill Paxton. Okay, that I had no clue about. I had no clue about that. That's awesome to know. Okay, all right. But he's in the first film, but just barely. Okay, all right. Let's see. All right, CG has a soft spot for The Amazing Spider-Man 2, especially because of how great Gwen is adapted in the film. However, he can understand it, how it can feel even more overstuffed than Spider-Man 2. God. I'm sorry, if you're going to do the death of Gwen Stacy, you don't tack it on to the end of the movie after the big bad has like been defeated, you know? Um that story deserves its own movie, frankly. All right. I definitely agree with you about Peter kissing Gwen in front of a bunch of people, including MJ, you know. Let's see. I really hope the Bruce Campbell being Mysterio thing, like that would be nice if the MCU capitalized on that. That would be so cool. That would satisfy my inner nerd in such a way, you know. Okay. Let's see. What's weird is Sam Raimi also wanted to change Black Cat to be the Vulture's daughter and have her go by Vulturess. Ugh, that would be. I'd have been weirded out by that. Okay, let's see. And I'm sorry, I am skipping a lot of comments, but like we're already over 3 hours here. Um, CG would love it if Sony worked with Disney and the Star Wars people long enough to have a crossover short where Sandman meets Anakin Skywalker. Okay, that's interesting. Let's see. The fans like Ursula because she's much sweeter and kinder than Peter's actual love interest, and she and Peter have cute chemistry. Yeah, but she doesn't know Peter that well, you know? Um, let's see. The Peter dancing scene and the other emo stuff fits his character because it's his idea of what a rebellious cool guy would do. I feel like it's intentionally corny and genuinely funny. Oh yeah, no, I agree completely. Absolutely. And hold on, my phone is blowing up for some reason. Okay. All right. Let's see. Uh, Sandman spends a bunch of time beating up Spider-Man. He tries to act like a sympathetic person that just wants to help his daughter. However, Sandman comes across as a jerk that uses his daughter's condition as an excuse to make bad actions seem justifiable. Also, Peter letting a criminal like Sandman go seems irresponsible. Okay, I'm just going to stop you right there, CG. Um, First of all, have you ever been in the position of having your daughter diagnosed with a terminal illness? Because I'm not saying this justifies his actions, but people will make rash decisions to save their loved ones at times, especially people with like terrible impulse control. Okay, now I'm not saying that that condones his actions, but I think that's an understandable motive that is narratively fair game and works out just fine. I also think if you want to if you want to talk about Peter letting him go, I mean, when Sandman explains the context for why he fired on Ben, you know, the movie makes it pretty clear that it's an accidental discharge, and that yes, he did something terrible to Peter while doing something stupid and rash to try to save his daughter. But you know, I think that's completely understandable and not, you know, not narratively out of bounds here. You know, they've adapted Sandman to be more sympathetic because the Sandman in the comics, at least at that time, I don't think he had much of a backstory to make him sympathetic. The Sandman and his daughter stuff is actually fairly new. Like it was probably in the comics for maybe a few years to, I don't know, maybe a decade before this movie was made. And again, the writers have just latched onto it, and I think that that's actually a really good move. So I do wish we got a Spider-Man 4. This is King Matthew with Tobey returning, but at the same time, I'm kind of glad this was the end of his story as Spider-Man. I keep hoping that we either get a Spider-Man 4 or we get some extension of Tobey Maguire's story as Spider-Man in the MCU. Since it's been established that it could happen, I would love that. And you know what? While you're at it, do the same thing for Andrew Garfield. Give him another movie. That man deserves a trilogy. He deserves his own trilogy of Spider-Man movies. Let him have one more movie, you know? All right. Uh, let's see. Never understood the hate this movie got as a kid. I really enjoyed it, although I do feel like there was way too many villains crammed into it. I feel like, because I mean, you know, then do you feel the same way about No Way Home? I mean, I feel like they didn't know how to properly incorporate so many characters at this point. Trouble, don't do that. No, this is not a toy. She is trying to knock over my paper towel roll. This is not a toy. No, stop it. Sorry, I had to do that. Um, like this kind of thing really hadn't been done a whole lot in the movies, and so you know the MCU and you know I'm gonna give credit to Kevin Feige for this, as you know, like because those movies cram a lot of people into it, and you have to make decisions about how much development to give them, you know. And so I don't think they really did a lot of that prior to the MCU, and I feel like the MCU kind of perfected it, you know. So they did what they could with what they had, and they just didn't have the formula down at that point. Let's see. All right. Let's see. I think that Spider-Man is the worst villain in both Spider-Man 3 and No Way, or no, Sandman is the worst villain. I feel like both films act like he's a better person than he actually is. I, and in my opinion, you're not giving him the narrative credit that he's due. Just my opinion. And by the way, I'm just gonna say this right now. Um, if I give if I give airtime to your opinions and I don't agree with them, once I leave that, the conversation is over. If anyone comes at me in the comments of this stream and tries to continue the argument with me, um, I will disable your ability to comment, and I will erase your comment. Please don't do that. If I am giving the things that you say airtime, and I am considering them and giving them a fair shot and giving my opinion, Once I end the conversation, that's it. All right. I've had some people try to come at me in the comments after stuff like that. Please don't do that. You're only going to anger me. I'm just telling it like it is. So, all right. Because Anakin Skywalker hated sand. Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. All right, King Matt gives this movie 4 out of 5 stars. He didn't really like Venom in this movie because he feels like Topher Grace was the weakest actor to play him, plus Tom Hardy did way better as Venom. I will say this. I will say this against Topher Grace. That voice is not Venom, okay? Like, the voice is what really, that's like nails on chalkboard to me. Venom to me has a much deeper, just alien sounding voice. I still have issues with Tom Hardy's voice as Venom, because Tom Hardy is the one that does the voice. They just like remodulated it and everything. Um, I don't like all of that. I like to be able to hear him a little bit better, but like, yeah, it's a deep, more threatening voice than Topher Grace has. So, um, the difference between No Way Home and films like Spider-Man 3 and Amazing Spider-Man 2 is that all of the villains had already been introduced before, so it was easier to balance things out. Yes. However, I think you're oversimplifying things a little too much here, because it's not like Green Goblin doesn't get development. It's not like Electro doesn't get development. Okay, Ock's been developed. Sandman, they could have done something with him, but they didn't. Lizard, they did virtually nothing with. Okay, but multiple villains are still getting development during this movie, and you've got 3 different Peter Parkers all getting development at that time. So again, I'm not saying that, I'm not saying that that they didn't do it well. I think they did it as well as they could have, given the constraints of the time. That being, nobody had put like this many characters and stuffed them into a film, at least not on a regular basis before. And I feel like Sam Raimi did everything he could with that in mind. So that's, I just feel like they just hadn't gotten to that point narratively, in filmmaking. So, um, that's just how it worked out. So, all right, guys. Wow. We're at 3 hours and 20 minutes, and I just skimmed a lot of this. So, um, I just want to say thank you guys for being here. Thank you for giving your opinions, your contradictions, your arguments even. I really like that. And I'm also just going to tell you guys this is going to be the final edition of Classics Revisited, at least on a regular basis. I'm more or less kind of doing away with this because this definitely gets the least amount of traction and engagement of a lot of my reaction live streams, my watch party live streams. So Classics Revisited is going away. However, I will still be here next Sunday at 2 p.m. Uh, Next Sunday at 2 p.m. Will be the first edition of Retro Review, which is going to be a live streaming show where I show you guys some of the retro games in my collection, and we just we play some of them, we talk about them, and we see whether or not they're worth keeping in my collection, I guess, is probably the big thing. Um, because I do not have the room for all my Spider-Man stuff and then all my retro gaming stuff and my modern gaming stuff too. So I think we're going to be looking at some of the some of the video games, monthly games that I've gotten, and just be like, okay, do we want to keep, we'll play it for a little bit. We'll talk about it. If anyone has any opinions on it, they can let me know about it. But I think it's going to be kind of all right, do we keep this? Do we keep this in the collection? Do we get rid of it? I can take it to a video game shop and get credit for it, I guess. I don't know. But tune in for that because I think it could be a lot of fun if you like retro gaming. And then Sunday nights will be Cozy Gaming Oasis, where I'll be playing a lot of cozy games, just chillaxing and, just kind of getting into this new genre of games that I've kind of been into since I played Stardew Valley for a few years, but like I'm really trying to explore more of them and I really am enjoying what I'm finding. So you'll get me twice on Sundays, once in the afternoon and once in the evening. So stay tuned for that. And in the meantime, guys, I'm going to get going. Thank you guys so much for coming to Classics Revisited. Thank you for being here today. I really appreciate it. Take care. This is Spidey Librarian. And until my next stream or upload, I'll be wishing you a good day. Bye.